Hey there, this is JP Letnick, and I'm here joined today with my sister, Melanie Letnick.
Hello.
So, we tried making a previous video, Joanna and I, on tasting this wine from Tender Hope Winery, and I started editing it, and it wasn't very, very bad, because I know nothing about wine. So, I know my sister is a sommelier, right?
Well, I've done a couple courses. I'm no expert by any means, but I have a little bit more wine knowledge than my brother, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert.
So we brought in the expert, and we asked her to bring a bunch of stuff for a charcuterie board, and we can do a taste test. So we have 3 wines here today, and a little bit of background. Tender Hope Winery, it's a new winery in West Kelowna. It's located just off of the highway on the right-hand side in the industrial area. So they don't actually have their own fields, but they buy all the grapes from the local area, and they produce the wines here. Their head winemaker right now is also, they work with Summerhill Winery, and that's where they bottle a lot of their wines. So
Awesome.
That is who they are. So if you want to check them out, check out their website. We have the link in the description down below. So I'm going to let Melanie take it from here with what wines we have here, and we're going to do a little bit of tasting.
I'm going to take it away.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I should also say I have no prior experience with this winery. I didn't know what we were tasting before I got here, which is really good. So I'm totally green when it comes to this, and I'm excited to try their wines. So we have, what do we have here, JP? We have
So we have a Fire Dance Meritage. Which I just got educated today from Melanie that I used to say Meritage.
It's a common mistake because people think it sounds French, it looks French, it must be French, Meritage, but it's actually a blend of the words merit and heritage to make Meritage, and it was created in California as our North American version of the Bordeaux wine.
Oh.
So it's a Bordeaux blend, so if it's a Meritage, it'll always be a mix of the Bordeaux grapes and pronounced Meritage, and it's really funny when you say Meritage when you're pouring wine for people and they continuously say Meritage because they think that I'm saying it wrong, but actually I'm not.
So this is the label here. So there's the wine label. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there you go. So this is one of the first ones we're going to try today as well.
That'll be the last one that we
Okay,
try.
so that's the last one because it's probably going to overpower things, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Got it. So this one here is the Chardonnay. It's a 2018 Chardonnay.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
that is the one white of the
This is
three.
the one
Awesome.
white.
So we'll start with the Chardonnay.
Cool. Nice and easy with the twist top. And then we also have a 2018 Pinot Noir.
Fantastic. So we'll do Chard, Pinot, Meritage.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Did you want to open the wines, JP?
I'll do this one.
And then you can do the
Yeah,
other ones
that's
too,
a good
because
one.
I don't even know how to use this thing. We're gonna have some fun with that.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Do you want a white cloth?
I think I'm good. Okay. So I think, should we just give it a try before we read the back label?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it can give things away. So we're just going to test it for health since it is just open. We want to make sure that it is a healthy bottle of wine. We're going to smell it and taste it, make sure that it's not oxidized in any way. It's not often corked anymore with the screw top, but a wine can still be off, so you always want to test it before you keep drinking the bottle. It's got some nice acid. Should we pour a little bit more?
Sure.
Okay.
Someone picking you up?
Good question. Of course. I am not going to be entering a vehicle and driving after tasting these wines.
Yes.
Yes.
You want a spit bucket?
I will actually take a spit bucket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So mix of French oak and stainless steel. Awesome. So what are we thinking?
I think it's nice and light, crispy. Kind of like a citrus.
Yep. On the nose, you're getting hit with a more citrus and fruit and oak at the same time. Like you're not getting, it's not a
The oak's not very strong.
hit yourself in the face with a 2x4 kind of Chardonnay. There was an ABN or an ABC movement for a while, the anything but Chardonnay, because people were used to the big, bold Chardonnays coming out of California, and they hated the Chardonnays. So there was this preconception that people had in their brains that they just didn't like Chardonnay. If it's a Chardonnay, I don't like it. So it's actually come a long way since then. We have stainless steel shards with no oak contact whatsoever that a lot of people will probably like because it's not that buttery oaky. But also a lot of Chardonnays are made in neutral oak or less oak or mixed. Like this one is a mix of stainless steel and oak, so it softens the wine, it butters it up a little bit, but it's not really like oaky in your face. So this is kind of that nice blend of the two, the stainless steel and the French oak. The French oak will be a little more elegant than the Californian oak as well, so it's very lovely. The art of spitting. So, people get almost, they make jokes quite easily, or they think it's a waste of wine. But really, when you're tasting the wine, you're not necessarily there to just be drinking the wine. If you're doing actual tasting, or if you're driving, or if you're working professionally, and you are tasting a lot of different wines in a span of 2 hours, you can't be consuming all of it. Your palate will get exhausted, your brain will get fuzzy, you won't even know what you're drinking.
So if you're working professionally, it's better to spit, not swallow.
Yes. Finish our Chardonnay. Cheers again.
Cheers. Actually, I don't think we cheers.
I think we did.
That's the first
did
one.
We?
No, I had in my head that we were going to, but we didn't.
I thought we did.
Cheers. Alright, so we put the Chard away.
Chard was good. I was a fan.
Yeah.
I would have a bottle of that at home.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And that's high praise coming from her.
So you're not using the appropriate glassware for the particular wine. We're using a series of tasting glasses today. But of course, with your Chardonnay and your Pinot Noir both being grapes from Burgundy in France, you would use a larger bowl of a cup. And then our Meritage, you would use a Bordeaux style glass, which is a little bit... Are you bringing that out? Okay, so I was given these as a gift.
A larger bowl of
And
a cup?
I was moving, and I didn't want to
there we
bring
go.
them with me.
Larger bowl of a cup.
And so I asked my brother if he would take them off my hands. Are we actually doing this?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to use
bunnies.
these massive Burgundy glasses, Bourgogne glasses with cute little
Bunnies.
Playboy bunnies.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say Playboy?
Sure.
All right. Pinot. Awesome.
Here you go.
Testing for health to start. 2018 Pinot Noir.
Pinkies up, everybody.
Oh, that is a light Pinot already. You can see from the color. That's crazy. Pinkies up in our Playboy glasses. Can't even smell the wine. It's so far down. I don't know where it is. I could stick my whole face in here.
Stick your whole face in the bunny bowl. It's actually really light.
It's very light. This
Yeah.
is a very, very subtle Pinot.
Oh, I like that.
It is good. So for people who are not big red wine fans, I always say try Pinot. Although sometimes Pinot Noir there's such finesse in Pinot Noir. It's one of my favorite grapes. It's very finicky. It's high maintenance. But so some people, when they start, they actually want like really chewy, fruity Shiraz or some of the bigger reds. But if you're not into the heavy reds, then a Pinot is a good place to start, or a Gamay, because it's a lighter red. It's that kind of that bridge from white rosé to bigger reds. So Pinot Noir already being a light red wine, this Pinot in particular is even lighter. So you said that they don't have their own vineyards yet, but they are buying their grapes from, do you know where?
Locally. So they have grapes. There's some of the vineyards that they like from California, so they get some from there, but most of the grapes
They buy
are local.
grapes from California?
Not specifically for this
Oh,
one.
okay,
Like,
because
this
these
one
are
is a
VQA, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so VQA,
So this-
100% BC.
100% BC.
Yeah.
For some of their wines, there's specific ones that they get from outside, but for most of them, like the VQAs, they're all local. So there's Southeast Kelowna, there's Upper Mission, there's
So
West Kelowna.
they're buying from everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wonder where they get their Pinot from.
Thacker Drive Vineyard.
In West Kelowna.
West Kelowna.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, so definitely Kelowna climate is cooler then Naramata, and then obviously Oliver and Osoyos. As you go further south in the Okanagan, it gets hotter and hotter. That's where we grow our bigger cabs, our Syrahs, our Cab Francs, Cab Sav, etc. So that makes sense, being from here. All right, so Pinot Noir, also very versatile grape. So it goes with so many different things to eat. You can pair this, if you're looking, let's say it's Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner and you want a red wine with poultry, it is possible, go with Pinot. If you want red wine with fish, you're having salmon, for example, it is possible. Some people will say never pair red wine with fish, but salmon and Pinot Noir, that's a natural pairing. So I actually brought a salmon pate that I think we should try with this, and we can try some of the meats with it too. Some of the bigger meats maybe we'll enjoy more with the Meritage, but the salmon and this wine will be delightful, and cheese. But I think you're not going to go wrong with cheese.
Yeah, cheese and wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I'm not a huge fan of the very strong red wines. I'm a white wine guy.
Yeah.
This is very nice. I would actually enjoy this on a regular basis.
And this is not in your face fruit, which I really enjoy that.
So it was fermented in open stainless steel tanks, and then it was aged in French oak barrels for 11 months.
Lovely.
Yeah. So notes of black cherries, vanilla, and strawberry.
Okay, so I'm going to try this salmon pate with this Pinot.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, the salmon pate is overpowering the Pinot Noir because it is so subtle.
A little bit. I find that it's really pulling out the flavors.
Of the Pinot?
Of the salmon pate.
The Pinot is pulling out flavors of the...
I think it's accentuating the flavor.
That is the beauty of food and wine pairing, that they accentuate each other, right? It's a harmonious relationship. There are a lot of people in this world who cannot fathom the idea of a meal without wine, because it really is one of the food groups. So we have a spicier meat here. I think
What is this?
that is a Serrano ham. So it's kind of in the family of prosciutto.
Yeah, it looks like a prosciutto.
It looks like a prosciutto.
So you know how you have regular ham, like North American sliced processed ham, and it doesn't really taste like pork anymore. It just tastes like salt. This tastes like pork.
Oh yeah, this is the real deal.
This tastes like pig.
That might turn some of your viewers off.
Sure, but I find with the Pinot, it really brings out that flavor. So if you really want to taste the flavor of pork, like, I don't know, I liked it. Like, it's not for everybody for sure, but you really get to taste like, hey, this is pig.
This is pig.
This is
guys,
pig.
This is pig. So if you're Jewish, don't watch this. Our family comes from strong Jewish roots.
Mm-hmm.
This is not kosher. That's good.
That's not kosher. Oh, right. Cheese.
Figured try everything with everything. And the Havarti, which is a much subtler cheese, I think is going really well with this very subtle Pinot.
Yeah.
I think I like the Havarti with the Pinot more than I like it with the Chardonnay.
I do too. So yeah, I think that the Chardonnay was pretty on point matching with the cheese profiles, taste profiles, that you couldn't really taste the cheese. It matched so well.
Interesting.
That it was like, oh, this is a great pairing, but you didn't really get the flavor. And with the Pinot, I'm finding that the flavor of the cheese is actually coming out.
Especially since the Pinot is not overpowering it. Yeah. Which is why I thought the Chard went well with the Gruyere, because the Gruyere is a stronger cheese, so it was able to match the Chard.
Yeah.
And then with the Pinot being this is a very light Pinot, going really well with, it's allowing the Havarti to express itself.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Good.
So if you're going for cheese with the Tender Hope wines, Chardonnay is good if you want like a matched pairing, but the Pinot Noir is really pulling out the flavor. I really enjoyed that. Spicy pork.
Spicy pork.
Spicy pork. Taste. Spicy pork.
I think it's good to try it with the wine, since it's good to try everything with everything and just experiment. But I think
That brought out the spice level a little bit.
Of the Pinot? Because you said you got a little bit of spicy.
Oh yeah, I got a little bit of pepper.
Of pepper, right?
At the beginning. That really brought it out.
I'm curious to see what it's like with the Meritage.
It's still a subtle Pinot Noir, which I really like. Like, especially with the different flavors of the food that we've had, I really enjoy that it's a subtle red. It's really nice. I actually really like this. Yeah.
When you're looking at you're sitting on your patio, it's summertime. You want a red wine, but it's too hot for most red wines. Yeah. But you don't want a white wine because you're just not in the mood that day. This is the Pinot. This is the wine to have.
Yeah.
Tender Hope 2018 Fire Dance Meritage. So let's see what their blend is.
Are we supposed to drink a taste first?
For health.
Ooh, that's a nice smell.
See that? I'm getting a bit of a smoky.
Full body. Definitely a stronger flavor profile than the Pinot.
Definitely fuller bodied red.
Fuller bodied.
So when it comes to your Bordeaux style reds, they're going to be usually heavier bodied reds. I know you said you didn't want to know what the grape varietals were, but in the Bordeaux, the Bordeaux grapes are normally Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Petit Verdot. I know I'm blanking on some of the other ones. There are 6, I think.
Sure. I don't know anything. I'm just the person that drinks wine, so that's why I brought her.
Malbec. That's right. So they have the Malbec in this. So Merlot and sometimes Carmenere, if I'm not mistaken. So those are the 6. So Cab Sauv, Cab Franc, Merlot, Petit Verdot, Malbec, and Carmenere. Maybe. I have to double check on Carmenere. So this is a Bordeaux blend that has used 50% Merlot, 21% Cab Franc, 15% Cab Sauv. It's cool that there's more Franc than Sauv. 14% Malbec. No Petit Verdot in this one. So they've used 4 of the 6 Bordeaux grapes. So those kinds of grapes are fuller bodied reds. They need a hotter growing season. They need a longer growing season so that the grapes can fully ripen. We are growing this in BC. We grow this in the south, Oliver Osoyoos area, because we cannot grow that in Kelowna. It is too cool of a climate up here, even though it's still considered a semi-desert. So cool. So this is a supposedly fuller bodied red is what we're going into it with the mindset. We're thinking we're going to be drinking a full bodied red wine right now. For my first sip, I did not get knock your socks off full bodied. It's very medium bodied.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is okay. Like, it doesn't have to be really full bodied.
I think this really plays to the market of people like myself who like wine, but not something that's going to hit you in the face like a 2x4.
Yeah. That was the expression I used with Chardonnay.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's so lovely.
Yeah.
Like,
I can feel it, the flavor is more on the tongue than it was with the Pinot.
There's definitely more tannin, so this fuller bodied wine will have more tannin, so that dryness that you feel on your tongue, the tannin comes from your stems, your seeds, the skins, when they're mixing in with the wine, so they can really manipulate how the wine is made and how much of that is kept in there.
Now, I don't know if it was the other 2 wines talking, but the body of this is looking fine.
My brother hasn't been spitting his wine. Let's try some food with it.
Right.
It's always good to try wine on its own, but I think you don't get the full experience and expression of a wine unless you're having something to eat. Yeah. So what did you want to try first? I'm going to try some of the Gruyere. Nice. Okay, you try salmon, I try Gruyere.
Schwink. You know what? I don't even need a cracker. I'm just going to eat this right here. Oh. Wow. That was really good.
The salmon with
that was really good.
Fire Dance. I'm very curious to see what their story is behind that name. Maybe they can do a follow-up with the story.
Oh yeah, that is a good question. It's a nice pairing. I actually found that the Pinot Noir brought out the flavors more in the cheese.
I preferred the Pinot with the Havarti.
Yeah.
I like the Gruyere with the Meritage.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah. Because you know how the Havarti is so subtle and the Pinot's so light, and so they were able to balance each other more that way, perhaps.
Yeah.
I find the Gruyere with this wine actually really works really nicely. The stronger cheese makes sense that it would suit the stronger wines.
Yeah.
And the subtler.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
The subtle cheese goes with the subtle wine. It's good together,
That was
hey?
really good together.
Yeah. There's a little bit.
Do you remember how I made that comment of this really tasted like pork?
Yeah.
Was that with the Pinot? I think it was with the Pinot.
I think so because we didn't even try the meat with the chard.
We didn't try the chard. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So really tasted like pork with the Pinot, which was nice.
Yeah.
I don't taste any pork with this one.
So what are you tasting?
I'm just tasting like a really nice salty cured meat.
Okay.
But no porky flavor.
You know why? I don't know. I'm just guessing. So the Pinot was so subtle.
It's buttery.
That it brought out all. There's nothing to mask.
Yeah, it was just the flavor profile of the meat. Yeah.
And then there's so much going on with the Meritage that it's really working with certain aspects of the meat, but it's not just pork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I actually really like this more with the Meritage.
I think that makes sense.
It was good with the Pinot Noir because I felt like you were tasting the actual flavor of the meat, but this is a much better combination, in my opinion.
The apple we kind of left with the chard. Oh, we have pear now.
We haven't tried pear.
We haven't tried pear.
We have not tried pear. This is not a ripe pear. It's kind of like a...
I wonder how that's going to be with Meritage. Oh man, we should have tried that with the chard.
Oh.
We can go back to Chardonnay. Don't tell anyone.
So I think it's a really good test, just to show what Melanie was talking about regarding what you want to pair your wines with. I can't taste the pear.
I'm trying
at all.
Because it's just not going to match. It's not going to match up or live up to the wine. Like it can't possibly compete with it. Yeah. It's competition of flavor profiles, right?
I can taste the slight sour juice, but otherwise it's just the texture.
You know what else too? Like you said, it's not a ripe pear.
Yeah.
So it's not very juicy, and the fruit in the pear hasn't been able to fully express itself. So this is a classic. Non-classic, don't do this pairing. This is why we're trying everything. A Meritage with an unripe pear. No.
So overall, ignoring the pear, because that just threw everything off, these were 3 really good wines. I would definitely have this on a regular basis. I'm more inclined to have the... what is it? I haven't been spitting, sorry. The more laid back, the more...
The Pinot?
Well, all 3 of them. They're more...
Oh, they are a little more laid back. They're more subtle.
Thank you. Subtle. They're way more subtle than what you would expect, which is nice to me.
Yes.
Because to me, a Chardonnay would be more dry.
It's still dry.
Yeah.
But it's not oaky.
It's not oaky.
It's not tart. Not drying your mouth out. So this is actually the thing with dryness and sweetness. There can be a wine that's very fruit forward, and a lot of people think that fruity wines equates to sweet wines. Yeah. When it may not be sweet at all, it's just very fruit forward. But they are scared of Chardonnay because they think it's going to be oak forward. They think it's going to be oaky in your face. But this is a really nice kind of melange. Wow. That sounded so pretentious. This is a really nice blend of the stainless steel with the light French oak over, I think it was 6 or 7 months. So it's not in your face oak. It was that nice softened butteriness that a lot of people would like in a Chardonnay, but not hitting yourself in the face with a 2x4, an expression that we've used a few times. Lovely wine. Pinot Noir, the lightest of the light Pinots, like Pinot Noir already being a light wine, it is even lighter than a lot of Pinot Noir. So if you want just a little light red summer sipping, patio sipping, slightly chilled red, and you're not in the mood for white, lovely Pinot to have. And then you have your Meritage, which is your bigger, fuller bodied grapes, but in a medium bodied wine. Like I can say it's not
overpowering.
As well. It's also they're all very approachable.
Yes.
I think that is a key word here, is that they're very elegant actually.
Yeah.
They're elegant wines. They all use
tender.
French oak actually, which says something as well about the quality of the wines. But they're very approachable at the same time. So I would say, from my first experience drinking Tender Hope, which is a winery, again, I had not heard of it before today, I'm a fan.
Awesome.
I think they're lovely.
Now, for anybody who wants to find their website, the link is in the description down below. Definitely try them out. VQA wines, a different combination, and highly recommend it.
Cheers again.
Cheers. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next video.